What's up guys, Naeem here from Bash Brothers DMV. Super excited to bring you a quick video, but very important step in the John boat to bass boat conversion is how to measure and cut your hatches accurately. But before we get into that, I want to give a big shout out to all the subscribers, everyone who supports this channel and supports this build that's been riding with me from day one. Thank you. We have a great community of people following this channel. Just want to take time to say thank you and say we truly appreciate you guys. Love the name suggestions for the boat. And there's actually one or two that I think I might actually go with. So keep the names coming, guys. Leave a suggestion below in the comments below. What should I name this boat? Anyway, let's get into this video and I'll see you right after. This is a pivotal moment in this whole build, which will be cutting out the hatches. I've actually dreaded this as one of the most highly anticipated points of the build for me. I really want to get it right. We have two hatches right here we got to trace out. I did go over it a couple times, maybe 2-3 times, just to make sure that the lines are right, because I don't want to take this out and then see underneath some of the lines didn't make it, and then I'm going to try to get this board exactly where it is right now 2 times in a row. So I'm gonna take this out, flip this over, get it on the cutting table so everything traced out pretty well. Hopefully you guys can see it on the GoPro pretty good. I'm starting to lose some light outside. I got about an hour before it's dark. Don't forget guys, very important, in order to cut out hatches correctly, you need to account for how much you'll need to cut out extra so the hatch lid has something to rest on. Because right now the framing stops where this line is and we need to cut over outside of the lines, and that portion of the lid will rest on the framing. We know that our framing is 1.5 inches, at least what I use is 1.5 inches. So if you cut that in half, that's 3/4 of an inch. So you want to make sure you cut your line 3/4 of an inch all the way around. That way the lid will rest on the framing of the boat. The final and probably the trickiest part of this is you have to cut out enough of the deck to account for the thickness of your carpet. My carpet is a 16-ounce carpet, so it's pretty thick. If you double it up without squeezing it together, but just doubling the carpet, it's 1/4 of an inch thick. So that's 2 sides. That would account for the piece of carpet that's on the lid of the hatch, and also the piece of carpet that's on the actual decking. All right, so you've got 2 pieces of carpet that meet, the lid and the deck. You have to make a cut outside of your line to account for the thickness of your carpet. You could cut on the inside as well, or do a combination of both. In some cases that's best to do if you don't have the space all on the outside to make the cut. So for example, right here you guys can see I don't have a lot of space outside of my hatch on the deck to play with. So for this side I will probably do a combination cut between inside the line and out. Over here where I have a lot of space, I could make the full cut on the outside. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm basically using common sense. I haven't seen any videos to explain it to this level of detail, and if there are some out there, kudos to those guys. I've watched a ton of videos on YouTube and I haven't seen someone explain it quite like this. So hopefully someone gets something out of this. This side is done. I'm ready to make cuts. I've got all the lines drawn out. This first line is what I traced out initially, and this is where the framing is underneath the deck. We know we have to get a 3/4 inch lip for the hatch lid to rest on. So I measured 3/4 of an inch out. That's what the second line is going around. And I got 3/4 of an inch again because the framing that I use was 1.5 inches. Okay, so just cut it in half, 3/4 of an inch. Lastly, I measured another 3/16 of an inch. I'm going with 3/16 of an inch to account for the thickness of my carpet, and my carpet is 16-ounce carpet. It's pretty thick stuff. So that's what the third line is. My first cut will be on the outer line because I don't want to mess up the deck. Okay, I could mess up a hatch lid and redo that, but I don't want to mess up a deck. After I cut out the outermost outer line, I will make the second cut on the lid itself for the middle line, the inside line. That's what will give me the spacing for my carpet. Luckily for me, I do have a 3/16 bit, which is the exact spacing that I'm trying to cut out. I do recommend a precision blade if you can find one. It doesn't shift when you start your marks, and it does a clean cut. There's not a lot of splintering, okay? We're back at the boat. Did all my cuts. Let's get it on the boat. Right off the bat, guys, I just realized that piece of the wood got notched out as I was cutting it. That was underneath. So remember, I had to flip the deck over and cut from the other side because I'm using the markings I did from underneath. That's not cool. That's definitely a weak spot. What I'll do is find the piece of wood that got chipped out, get some wood glue, just glue that in there just to firm that up a bit before I carpet that over. This is a close-up of what I see. So we got 1/4 inch going around. The cutout looks very nice, pretty even. Again, I'll fix this piece right here, get some glue for that. But going over to the right hatch, looks very good. And here's a close-up of the hatch lids. I just had to fix this piece down here to be a lot more straight. And the right hatch, I had a horrible crooked cut right here because I was tired, guys. I'm not gonna do any more cuts on it because the more I keep shaving it, is the less likely the hatch will close tight. So, and of course the carpet will compensate for the not so perfect moments in my cuts. From next, we're gonna seal this up with some sealant. Of course, that's a 3-day process for it to completely cure. You guys won't see that, but I will.
3 days later.
So right now, this is the inside of the hatch, right? The way I'm doing my hatches is I'm gonna spray paint the inside of my hatches black. And I'm doing that because it seems like the easiest and probably cleanest way to do it. I might put some decals on here or something to spruce it up. But because I'm spray painting it, I wanna go ahead and get the spray paint on this now, let it start to dry because I wanna be able to carpet this today as well. I'm gonna flip this over. This is the top of the hatch. So I'm just gonna move these markings to the actual top of the hatch. This is the side that will be carpeted. And I wanna do this before I spray paint it and lose track. And to do that, I'm just gonna use this painter's tape, of course, because it's removable and it should not remove my sealant. So I'm just gonna mark this top, left, right, back. So when I go to put this in the boat, if I'm at the back of the boat, this is how it's gonna go. This is the top, this is the back. And the latch is gonna actually open up like this because it's gonna open up towards the front, all right? And that's in line with what I have here. So one thing I wanted to show you guys is that the hatch is a little bit hard to close, right? And that's because of the thickness of the carpet. So what I'm gonna do to compensate for this is actually shave off, just get a normal clippers and shave off the edges of the lid of the hatch. And I'll also shave the inside of the hatch as well to compensate. And then that will allow it to close a lot better. I will definitely go with at least 1/4 inch spacing between the hatch lid and the actual deck for the future hatches. I may even go 5/16, as crazy as that may sound. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and shave this up and get this hatch closing properly. So guys, you really wanna keep a steady hand when doing this. What you wanna do is slowly guide it with your hand along the carpet. Don't point it down. If you point it down too much towards it, it'll dig in too far and you don't want to do that. And of course, if you point it up, it won't cut. So just try to have something even with the level of the carpet and slowly take your time and just shave around it. All right, guys, let's see how it fits. Yeah, that's much better. That is much better than before. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I still want it to be kind of tight. This fits a lot better. Again, this is gonna be probably 2 of the more tighter hatches. Just wanted to show you that quick, easy way to fix your hatches. If it's not closing properly and you need to adjust it, you can always shave down the carpet. Again, if you don't have really thick carpet, you probably won't have this issue. And I also feel like as I was trimming it, I kind of felt like it was a good thing to do anyway, because when I install the hinge, I'm thinking that'll help it lay a lot more flush up against the framing. There you have it, guys. A lot of information in a short, condensed video. I did go with 5/16 of an inch gap for my carpet on the remaining hatches all around me, guys. It came out really well. Very happy with how this boat is turning out. Live and learn through this process. Take your time with this step. It's very important to get it right. And a mistake at this point could cost you a lot of money and time. With that being said, if you got something out of this video, leave us that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also have a full playlist. Takes you from the beginning all the way to where we are right now and through the end, guys. This entire journey of this John boat to bass boat conversion. Appreciate each and every one of you. Stay safe out there. See you next time.